Hello, welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. Continuing on this journey of positioning yourself, of where do you want to go, in what period of time, right? I now, having reached the departmental head position, I wanted to look at, I got ambitious, right? And I said, I'm as good as anybody in this organization. I want to be the MD. Right? At this time, maybe 10 years' time, but I want to be the MD. That was like an impossibility. But I said, why not? When I started saying what's going for me, I had a lot of these things which I had built up a tremendous reputation of turning departments around, creating profits, and thinking out of the box and doing tremendous repositioning of the company. And maybe if I get a chance in some other session, I will talk about some of these actual cases of how major changes were made and money was saved. But that is not good enough to be the MD. To be an MD, so you can be powerful. Where I was very powerful. No major decision could be taken if I had said no. I could have put a roadblock. I was invited to all major meetings, even though I was not in the same category, but I was invited to come and give my advice or idea. So I had a lot of visibility, a lot of power, but that's it. You could not become MD. To become an MD, you had to be in the marketing. So I said, now that means I have to get to marketing. It's very difficult in Dunlop to go cross. You can go vertical, you can shoot up, but horizontal is very difficult, especially to go into marketing. So now my objective was to get to MD, I need to get into marketing. First was marketing. And how do I get into marketing? So I had to now create a perception of myself, position myself as somebody who knows marketing, who can value add in marketing. I had some background of sales mix. I have a background of marketing. So I started taking more interest in sales mix, going around, right, meeting salesmen, managers, regional managers to understand sales requirements so that we can plan better. And then I got into production planning because then I started doing optimization of capacity. So here I had sales requirements, capacity, availability, and how I make them meet and optimize. With that, I started getting invited to sales conferences, my regional managers meetings, right? Took their views, took their understanding, and gradually the feeling came in, this guy knows marketing. Then the next job I got from here was to get a very senior rank, general manager rank, as sales and planning manager. This is still not a marketing job. Right? It is a job in between sales and marketing. I really don't know who I reported to, but my boss was from the marketing. Right? So it was a link between the sales and marketing, so that the sales guy said what they want, right? The production guy said what they can make, and I in between arbitrated to see what can be or should be made. And if there are bottlenecks, how can we break the bottlenecks? I had done a lot of bottleneck breaking earlier in management services. So when I came in here, the first task I got was, look, the transportation cost is very high. You need to cut that down. Again, transportation was basically trucks. And I realized that if I had called the truck owners, negotiated with them, beat them down, I would have probably got a 5 to 10% reduction in their transport cost, but it's a very long list of unhappy transporters, long faces. So I said, that's not going to be anywhere. I need to do something drastic. something to scrap the total method and rebuild. And I did that by removing the transport system from trucks to train. Now, one of the problems of sending goods by train was once we put them in the train, give them to the railways, we might as well write them off because we don't know where they are, when they will get to where they were supposed to get. There was no tracking, they don't know where it will get, so you can't do any forward planning. So we designed with my team a thing called Dunlop trains. We built trains. Dunlop already had a siding because of coal. So we used the siding to create a full Dunlop train. It will go from the factory right up to regional office. So it's going to Delhi. There'll be one train going to Delhi. In between, right, it will branch off, and some bogies will go to Lucknow, and some will go to Guwahati. Similarly, the train will go to Bombay. The train will go to Madras, the big regional offices, and branch off along the route to go to their sub depots. This way, the entire train was in the control. So we knew there was a route and there was a schedule. So the major problem of not knowing where it is was gone. The only issue here was to make a full train load is a big task because a lot of product has to be put in there. So we modified the entire production planning process such that we produced in that kind of quantities. And the region got a monthly supply in one go. Now there were advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage was there was a lot of stocks over a period, which of course got run down. And the advantage was that the region knew exactly how much they're getting in the month and when. And they had there from the beginning of the month, they knew how to allocate it. With this, the transport cost came down dramatically. An unbelievable reduction in cost, which sort of made me a sort of a good guy with the finance division and the MD. And then finally, I was asked, where do you want to be? And I said, I want to be in marketing. I said, if you want to be in marketing, then you have to be in the field. You have no field experience. I know you've done a lot of work in the field, but that's staff or support. You have no direct field experience. You have no experience of selling. So then I was made to act as a regional manager for a region, worked there for a couple of years, and then the bombshell fell. I got transferred back to Calcutta to head up a cycle division, which was sort of, the company was being broken up into tires, automotive and trucks, and cycle. Smaller division, but a full independent division. Unfortunately, around that time, the company got sold. And luckily, I left the company before the company got sold. So although I achieved part of my objective moving to marketing, I did not meet my objective of becoming the MD. For that, I had to do further planning, and that I will tell you in a different session. So, to summarize, you need, moment you enter an organization or at various levels, various stages of your career, you need to know what you want to be, right? And then when do you want to get there, and what's going for you, what's pushing you, what's are pushers for you, and what are the blockers for you. How do you use the pushers to get momentum, and how do you make the blockers irrelevant and push them aside? With this, it is possible. And remember again, perception is what that counts. So position yourself. What are you? What do you stand for? Create a perception around you that people believe that's what you are. So create a perception and go for it. With that, it's Veer Sagar saying goodbye till we meet again next time. Thank you.